In this episode of the Bill Caskey podcast, we're going to talk about 3 of the most important ways and strategies you can increase profit inside your company. So this message is primarily for people who care about profitability. If you don't care about profitability, this is going to mean nothing to you. But stay tuned. I've got 3. This is a total series of 15, 5 episodes, 3 each. Today's 3, I think, are going to really interest you. Hey everybody, Bill Caskey, back at the Bill Caskey podcast. You know, I started this series of giving you some ideas based on some of the work that I am doing with my clients. And most of my clients are companies that have sales teams, but also I work with the executive level, VPs of sales, CEOs sometimes, with profit amplifiers. How can we build profitability inside the company? So I want to share this with you because there's some really good work going on. And sometimes we pay a lot of attention to the top line revenue, not enough to bottom line profitability. I know somebody in your organization does, but I want to bring to light some things that you can do inside your sales team that are going to boost your profitability inside your company. So if you have not watched the first few episodes, make sure you do so. Today, we're going to get into 3 more strategies that I think will really make an impact on your profitability. Number 1, I want your people, and you need to train and coach your people, to stop selling and start guiding. This is one of the most crucial aspects of sales today is we have to turn ourselves into guiders rather than just sellers. And salespeople love this concept, by the way. When you start introducing this, which I encourage you to do to all 3, you can even have them watch this video, you'll find that people really like that concept of guiding versus selling. Does anybody really want to go convince and persuade somebody to do business? And when you do, you know what you get. You get resistance and you get objections and you get stalls and you get people like, oh, wait a minute, not so fast. When you're guiding, you don't have that. You literally take away almost all of the objections and resistance when you can convert your team from a sales organization, to a guiding organization. Now, what are you guiding them to? Well, the sales team is guiding the prospect from where they are to where they want to be. Your solution, is the vehicle that transports them from where they are to where they want to be. And when you can make that shift in your mind, in your sales team's mind, I think you're going to see a lot of difference in the selling cycle length. It will go down. Your costs will reduce, thereby, guess what? Amplifying profit. Big profit amplifier number 8 is know your numbers. When I talk to an organization, I will typically ask a few questions to help me get to know whether the numbers are known. And one number that I pay particular attention to is closing percentage, conversion percentage. Of all the quotes that you do, all the deals that you propose, how many come to fruition? Is that number 5%, 10%, 15%? It could be there's different categories. Maybe if you have current clients that want other products from you, that closing rate may be 50%. But if it's a cold client, never done business before in the past, probably going to be lower. There's no shame, whatever the number is, but we need to know it. And if you don't know it, it's something you should know. Your sales team should know it. Your sales manager should know it. If that's not you, you should know it if you're a CEO or president. Because a lot of time is wasted and cost expended on deals that never happen. So let's just say that your closing percentage is 15%. That means 85% of your time and expenses generally are wasted. Well, if you want to boost profitability, cut that 85% down to 30%. You should be closing 60 to 70% of the deals you work on if you're doing these things right and if you're taking this whole list of 15 and implementing them. By the way, if you like some of the things you're hearing here, make sure you go to billcaskey.com. There's a place for you to contact me if you want to talk about your sales team. I'm happy to. It's not the purpose of this generally, but I do know that a lot of times people call me because they've heard something that interests or resonates with them. So go to billcaskey.com. Be happy to talk. So one number that's important is closing percentage. Another number that's important, once you understand that, is what's your lifetime value of a client, of a customer? How long do they typically stay? How much volume do they typically do? Maybe first year, second year, third year. You may have an organization that like the first year is where all the numbers are, and then it turns into sort of a maintenance role. Whatever it is, but you need to know the lifetime value of the customer. And this could be lifetime revenue value, top line, but it also could be lifetime profitability value. That's probably a more important number. So if you generate, let's just say $1 million from a client over 5 years, how much of that drops to the bottom line? Let's just say 30% does over time, because chances are the millionth dollar in is much more profitable than the first dollar. So you have to take it as a whole. Let's just say you generate $300,000 of profitability. Then the question is, what are you willing to invest to get another one of those? Because a lot of times we spend a lot of money on marketing and ads and marketing people. I know companies that have marketing staffs and they have no idea what they bring in. No idea. They just keep adding marketing teams. So now the marketing team's 7 people, $100,000 each. That's $700,000. How much business do I have to do for $700,000? I got to do $3 million. There's no way they know. So lifetime value is one of those numbers that I think you really have to know. Then you can decide, how much am I willing to invest in client acquisition? So those are 2 numbers that I think you have to know. How's that going to boost your profitability? Or are you going to stop wasting money on things that don't work? And you're going to also be able to target and invest a fair amount of money in things that will work to generate lifetime customers and lifetime profitability. So that's number 8, is know your numbers. The number 9 big profit amplifier is build an irresistible message. Irresistible means it's so compelling that people want to know more about your value. The message proclaims the value that you bring in the marketplace and distinguishes you from other people. I've worked with organizations on messaging for months until we finally come up with a refined message, and it blows the lid off revenue, because no longer are you sounding like everybody else in the marketplace. If you want a cap on profitability, be a commodity. Be a commodity where you look and sound like everybody else. Now, I know you may say, well, wait, we're not a commodity, we're unique. Yeah, but you don't command the premium in the marketplace because your messaging is not right. It's not irresistible. So what are the components of an irresistible message? Well, number 1, you've got to be clear about what problems you solve. What problems do you address and do you solve for your potential prospect customer? Do you have a list of those? If I were to ask your sales team today to give me the 5 problems that a prospect typically has when you get involved and how you help them solve those, would they know what those 5 were? I bet they wouldn't. Now, your top people might, your marketing team might actually, but most salespeople do not think about it that way. So the first thing I want you to do when you think about irresistible message is, what problems do we solve? If we don't know the problems we solve, how can we craft a message that's going to compel someone to want to invite us in, book a call, or buy? Number 2, an irresistible message is, where are you taking people? What's the transformation that you're going to provide for your customers? You're going to take them from point A to point B, as we talked about in number 7, where we talked about guiding. But what's the transformation? How will they be different once you get them to the destination? What will business life look like? Will it be transformed at all? Or are you just shipping something and it's really no big deal? If you're just shipping something and you're a Shopify store, you're probably not transforming anybody's life. But if you're selling high-ticket coaching, high-ticket solutions, SaaS products, accounting services, don't sell yourself short. You can transform people's business lives by what you do, because it's one less thing they need to worry about. They don't even know what's possible. Once you get in and start working with them and executing and implementing, they're going to say, my gosh, how have we done without this for the last 20 years? That's transformational. So you've got to understand the transformational element to your solution. And category number 3 here is, do you have any kind of a guarantee? Is there any kind of an assuredness that you are who you say you are and you can do what you say you can do? It's not just let the buyer beware. You've got to have some kind of way and method of saying, look, if we work on this for, let's just say 30 days, 60 days, and at the end of that time, you say, Bill, this is not working. I want my money back, or we want to stop, or you want to cut the contract. There's got to be some kind of guarantee you put in your irresistible message. For us, whenever we work with an organization or an individual, it's always the first 30 days because we give a lot in the first 30 days. You will know in the first 30 days whether I can help you 2x, 5x, 10x your business. You will know that because you will see the interaction with the people. You'll see what they're learning, how they're changing. Now, if you're in a 3-year sales cycle, you're not going to see results in 30 days, but you're going to see things change. And so I always say for my individual clients in my public cohorts or corporate, if you don't think I'm bringing value after 30 days, I'll refund month 1 and we'll be done. Do you have something like that to help give your commitment and your conviction some teeth? That's part of your irresistible message, is how do you guarantee in a way that the results are going to be there? So those are the 3 big profit amplifiers for today. Number 7, again, this is part 3 in a 5-part series. Stop selling, start guiding. Your people need to be guiders. They need to be Sherpas. They need to be the person who has the map of the territory and not just a salesperson. Number 8, know your numbers, conversion percentage, lifetime value, and thus client acquisition, what you're willing to invest. That's going to change. That's going to change your marketing right there if you know those numbers. And then an irresistible message is big profit amplifier number 9. So I hope this has been helpful. Make sure you connect with me if you'd like to. Go to billcaskey.com. I'll be happy to have a chat if you want to talk about how I might be able to bring value to your team, whether it's a one-day workshop or whether it's something that's more ongoing. I'd be happy to talk to you. I hope you've enjoyed and got value out of this. Make these things happen. Implement these. They're no cost. These things don't cost you anything to implement. It may take some time, but is profitability, isn't that worth it? I think it is. See you next time. Bye.